Shalom, shalom. All right. Before we get started, we're going to give all praises, glory, and honor to
YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RUKAKADASH.
Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Also, peace, safety, and much love to the elect. We the brothers here, Great Millstone, Atlanta branch of GMS, with another live stream dealing with reincarnation, the new moon, and various topics. And primarily these two topics of the new moon and reincarnation are two topics that a lot of Israelites can't seem to get to come to grips with. One, because the Spirit of the Lord is not dealing with it. That's just first and foremost. And number two is because they following blind leaders. All right, you follow these charlatans out here, like Zabak and like 14th Street Israelites, guys, HOI and all that madness, man. IUIC, IGPK, y'all are following blind leaders, and they're not giving you the correct breakdowns. All right, so we gonna pretty much go into the scriptures and show you that reincarnation is biblical, that the new moon Sabbaths are biblical, which tonight is the new moon. I think it's the 5th month. We're in the 5th month, if I'm not mistaken. And the new moon constitutes the new month. So we're gonna go into the scriptures and deal with all of that, because these are two topics where you still got Jake walking around saying that Friday sundown and Saturday sundown is the Sabbath, which is not biblical. All right, and you got people going around saying that reincarnation don't exist when it's biblical, man. There's plenty of scriptures that support reincarnation. All right, so we're gonna start out with what's that? 2nd Ezra 14 and 35, and then we'll just bounce off that. Well, you got it. All right, go ahead. All
right, this is 2nd Ezra chapter 14, verse 35. For after death shall the judgment come.
Right. So after you die, that's when you get judged. Right. That's what the scripture said. After you die, judgment comes. Right. Now, where does judgment play out at? We'll get that after this. Somebody hold Ecclesiastes 3:16. All right, we'll finish that 2nd Ezra, then bring that about.
All right. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 14, verse 35. For after death shall the judgment come, when we shall live again.
Go ahead.
And then shall the names of the righteous be manifest, and the works of the ungodly shall be declared.
That's when the righteous is going to be made manifest, because you got to remember, the elect is symbolic of what? The first fruits, which was there in the beginning with YAHAWASHI. So the first fruits was there in the beginning in the book of Genesis with YAHAWASHI, and they're written in the book of Revelation to be saved. That means they would have had to come back in order to be redeemed. Paul, for instance, Paul did all of those things. His mission was first and foremost to feed the church, but what was he going to get out of it? Salvation. But Paul went back to the spirit world. So how did he receive his salvation? He didn't receive his salvation back then. His salvation is going to be received in these times. So that means that he's back. All right. That's why the scripture says the judgment shall come when we live again. Now, where does judgment take place at? Now you get that Ecclesiastes 3 and 16 Bible shop.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 16. And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment.
So the earth is where judgment plays out at. So you go back. Matter of fact, go to Ecclesiastes 12 and 7 now and keep that. We're going to go back. Ecclesiastes 12 and 7. Then I'm gonna go ahead and pass it around. Let y'all brothers get it.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 7. Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was.
Go ahead.
And the spirit shall return unto the Most High who gave it.
That's right. So when you die, when your spirit leaves this flesh, this body, you go back to YAHAWASHI that made you. You go before him to receive your judgment. All right. When you receive your judgment, what does he do? He puts you back into another body. All right. He puts you in another body, and you come back into the earth, and you play out whatever judgment was declared unto you in the spirit world. All right. That's what you call reincarnation. That's how judgment is brought about in the world through reincarnation.
That's right.
That's how judgment takes place. All of these different kings you see, Donald Trump, Netanyahu, Kim Jong-un, Barack Obama, the Bush family, the Rothschilds, all of these spirits are just reincarnated spirits. They were prominent figures in the past and they come back in the earth. They go to the spirit world. The Lord hot wires them, tells them exactly what they're going to do when they come to the earth, let them know their judgment. Then they come back into the earth and they play out the judgment because it say under the sun, which is the earth, is the place where judgment proceeds.
Right.
All right. So you can go back to Ecclesiastes 3:16. After that, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you.
Okay, this is Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 16. And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment, that wickedness was there, in the place of righteousness.
That's right. Go ahead.
That iniquity was there.
So this is Eden. The earth was known as Eden. You say in the place of righteousness, wickedness was there. All right. So because there's wickedness in the earth, in the place where the YAHAWASHI carries out his judgment, that means judgment is going to come on a grand scale in the earth. Now, why is the Lord going to judge these people as harsh as he prophesied it? Because these are the same spirits that offended in the past.
That's right.
They're just back here on the earth to play out their ultimate judgment, which is the taste of the lake of fire, the famine, the pestilence, whatsoever the Lord confirmed their judgment is going to be. They have to come back and play it out. But these are nothing but ancient spirits. All you scoffers, you hated the Lord back in the day. Everything is reincarnated. Everything comes back, man. Animals, every spirit comes back. No spirit gets stuck in between the flesh and the spirit, we're in the spiritual realm, and they just there in the middle, floating around.
Right, there's no limbo.
But Raza, you had one?
Yeah, I have.
Y'all brothers got it.
Add on to that. It's Psalms 104 and 29. Thou hidest thy face, they are troubled. Thou takest away their breath, they die and return to their dust. Thou sendest forth thy spirit, they are created, and thou renewest the face of the earth.
And that sounds like a cycle, man. Did you read that one more time?
Yeah,
that's the cycle of the cycle of life that that was Psalms, right?
Yep.
That David is actually going into, man. So the individuals, the prophets, and the men of the Lord, they all understood the concept of reincarnation. Can you read it on?
Yep. Psalms 104 and 29. Thou hidest thy face, they are troubled. Thou takest away their breath.
Take away their breath, because which breath is your spirit. All right. Rakar, which is a spirit. I'm not mistaken with that Pasha. You know, if a brother could look at the specific Hebrew term for breath right there, you know.
Yeah.
But the breath represents the spirit. That's what's thriving in you. Because this on the outside is no more than an outer shell, man. This is a house. Scriptures refer to it as an earthly tabernacle, man. And as a tabernacle, it can be destroyed, but what's inside can't be destroyed, man. That's what gets delivered back to the Heavenly Father, which you keep on.
Yep. It says, thou takest away their breath.
Their spirit.
Yep. It says they die and return to their dust.
Yeah, they go back in their corpse state. All right, they go into the earth. The body actually decomposes in the earth. All right, we actually in the spirit we had I sent it out to brothers. The process of the body's decomposition phases, man. You see how everything works in complete harmony with itself, man. How the Most High Spirit, like the scripture said in the Ezra, how the Lord's judgment is likened unto a ring, man. Everything is full circle with the Most High. All right, when your body breaks down, it actually releases certain fumes. All right, so that it attracts insects, and that's the decomposition process. And your spirit is actually elevated into the heavens, just like it tells you in Ecclesiastes. It goes back up onto the Most High who gave you. You keep on.
Yep. It says, verse 30, thou sendest forth thy spirit, they are created.
So he took the breath, and he said he sent his forth his spirit, they are created. So how are these spirits created? They first start with intercourse in the womb. Solomon spoke about that. All right, how he was actually compacted in blood by the space of what, 8 months? If I'm not mistaken, 10 months. My bad, I went behind one, but above him. Because the usual time span is really 9 months. But he spoke about 10 months, and that's how he was compacted in blood by the union of man and woman. And that's the scientific proof that when a man inseminates in the womb of a woman, that there's a spark. What's that electric spark? Spirit.
I got it for you.
Yeah.
This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 1. I myself also am the mortal man.
Yeah, what is the word mortal going to flesh? That's why you have, when you die, you have a mortician. He's over the flesh. All right. Speak about mortifying, your members. That represents your flesh, and that cutting off the flesh. You can go.
Like to all, and the offspring of him that was first made of the earth.
Of the earth. All right, because we're Adamites. All right, everybody onto this earth, we all come from a classification as Adamites. Even the word human. The word human really means man from the earth, man. Brown man. And where does that brown coloration come from? The earth. That's what the Lord compacted. He molded man from that clay. Hey, and even when you go into the history of not just biblical history, but a lot of these, the Chinese, the Japanese, that so-called Hamites, through their writings, they all understand that man came from clay, man. The dirt.
That's true. You could it's crazy because you look into ancient healing methods that the Native Americans would use. They would use soil, and they were bonded with a lubricant like either oil or something of that nature, and they would put it on their gashes, and it would actually heal them. So they would actually heal themselves with going in the earth, taking the actual ingredients that their skin is made out of and putting a solution on it, and they would rub it on cuts and gashes. But then basically they just put in their flesh.
It's a team clay.
Yep, that deep Georgia red clay. They would mix that with a like a vinegar or like a oil or something like that, and they would put it on their cuts, and it would bring them back.
Oh yeah, we'll get them right. Because
they of the earth. They already of the earth. You know what I'm saying? So they just taking a piece of what they already are and just putting it back together.
That's right.
But I'm gonna keep going for you, bro. This verse 2. It says, and in my mother's womb was fashioned to be flesh in the time of 10 months.
Yeah, he said he's fashioned. When you fashion something, you're really creating something. The skeletal system gets created. Well, it starts off with what's the?
It starts with your anus.
Your what?
First thing to form is the anus.
Your anus?
Your internals.
Yeah. So then, the internals and everything basically comes and it builds upon itself, man. Which everything is a process. It's a spiritual process how the Lord creates these different things, man.
It says being compacted in blood of the seed of man.
Yep, of the seed of man, which the seed represents the sperm. Because the seed has to be planted in order for anything to germinate and anything to actually live. A woman can't get herself pregnant. It has to start with the seed of man.
Yep. It says
back then the apostles were going to the bottom.
Yeah, the bottom. Verse 3. And when I was born, I drew in the common air and fell upon the earth, which is of like nature. And the first voice which I uttered was crying, as all others do.
All others do. That's the cycle. That's the spirit that the Most High actually ushered everybody to have to go through. That's the process of life. Then we went into the process of death. We're going into reincarnation, the cycle, because the word reincarnation means re, which is back, in is in, and incarnation is flesh. Yeah. So how do you come back in the flesh? All right, through the process that the Most High gives you. The scriptures even go to generations, time phases. Sometimes you get generational so-called blessings. You get generational curses.
So, and then think about this, because a lot of guys ain't spiritual. All right, so you try to debunk reincarnation. What does you say about when a man dies? You just go and sit in the heavens forever?
Yeah, right. Nimrod is just up there in the heavens just until the kingdom, basically.
Right. Yeah. Just everybody just they die. A little 5-year-old boy coming to the earth, he ain't done nothing. Because obviously reincarnation is not in the scriptures. So a little 5-year-old boy gets busted in the grill, with a shotty.
Right.
Sent on up through there. What happens to this little boy, man? What did he do to get shot in the mouth like that and die?
Right.
Second of all, what's going to happen? Why wasn't he given a fair shot at life? That's just judgment for what he did in his past life, man. Why did the Lord bring people out crippled, Why? Okay, I'm gonna hit you with this. I hit you with this. Why did Esau come out without pigmentation?
I appreciate it.
Oh yeah.
That's judgment for him being Cain. That's judgment.
Yeah. Because he fled from his judgment in his past life. That's why he said that he, though they may slay me, and the Most High put a mark on Cain, and he fled to the land of God, man.
He said to be a vagabond in the earth.
But then the flood story occurred. All right, the flood during the time of Noah, and everybody got swept off the face of the earth, even so-called white people. All right, but that seed had to be reestablished through what? Reincarnation in the spirit of Esau. Right. That's why Jacob handheld the hill of Esau. That's symbology going all the way back from the beginning. Actually, Cain got the one up on Abel, and in the spirit, you know, Jacob and Esau, Jacob was going to get the one up on Esau. The next lifetime.
That's right. And that was prophecy. Me and the brother Abba were on the way over here. We were speaking in the car. It was like really a lot of major prophecies deal with reincarnation. All right. When the Lord told Cain that he would be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth, when did that happen? When he was Cain. Right. It happened when he came back into the earth as Esau and his seed. Now Esau is a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth because he's a no people. The scriptures say he's no people. So he don't have a heritage. He don't have an actual he's the
pagan Roman Empire is reincarnated.
Right.
A whole empire is reincarnated right here on the planet Earth.
Yeah, with the people.
With the people.
Yeah. Hey, make that point you said in the car about, how Jake can believe in all of these crazy fantasies.
Oh yeah, well we was just talking in the car the fact that, when it comes to the scriptures, Jake can receive, UFOs, Jake can receive spiritual powers, Jake can receive Peter walking on water, Jonah and the fish,
the
transfiguration. But then when it comes to something as truly it's meaty but it's simple, reincarnation, they can't accept that.
It was that they swallowed a camel straight out of the neck.
Yep.
Like you said, the heavy stuff, so to speak, they can, they with that, but simple stuff, like you said, reincarnation is pretty much basic. Yeah. It's meaty, but it's basic in a way. They can't get it, man.
And it makes sense.
Well, and like we were saying the fact that really what it comes down to is the fear. When you deal with reincarnation, it takes your fear levels of YAHAWASHI to another level. Because it's just simple. It's easy to equate your life to just you appeared on the planet Earth, you lived your life, and you died. But when you're dealing with reincarnation and everything being reincarnated, you could be like, damn, I could be Judas.
Yeah.
I could be a wicked individual, because everything is reincarnated.
It make you check yourself.
It make you check yourself on a whole nother aspect, but that's being spiritual. Something that these other camps don't have.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
And a lot of what brothers have been going to lately was just about how that pride, man.
Yeah.
Having that pride and having that puffed up attitude or that it's not me attitude. That's pride, man. And YAHAWASHI has a way of humbling. And you know what? In the spirit, that shows balance too. Because we're going into reincarnation and our past lives, we're not necessarily sure of who we were or what we've done. So it keeps you at a certain level as far as, mentality with the Lord, but then thinking that you know this or know that or that you can't be corrected, that's pride. So the Lord is really sifting right now, man. Are you going to humble down and get the true doctrine, or are you going to be prideful and thinking that you're above, the teachings of the hell? Because that's really what it is. The teachings of YAHAWASHI, man. And reincarnation is a part of it.
Yep.
Understanding where you come from and how your spirit is generated. Yeah. But then you go to Esau's school system and you can learn about how energy never is destroyed. But when it comes down to the scriptures and the spirit of YAHAWASHI, oh no, but your spirit, reincarnation is not real. YAHAWASHI wasn't reincarnated.
The new moon or the Sabbath is Friday, sundown to Saturday. So
Right, right.
like, man, you're not spiritual.
And well, what about the moon? The moon is so well. It's not reincarnated in the flesh, so to speak, but it goes through its cycle. Yeah,
Seasons
renewed.
so-called reincarnate.
Because winter is the death of the dead of winter.
Yeah.
Everything dies and then it comes back in the spring.
Spring back up. Yeah. The same trees that lose all their leaves and things that they did right there in the dead state.
Right
they
back.
flourish and rebud.
In
So
the
how many
springtime.
more men? You know?
Cycle.
You're right. Right. How much more man? How much more the flesh?
I got a precept real quick. This is Revelation 1:7. And behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him. And all kindreds of earth shall wail because of him, even so. Amen.
Hold on. Now, you mean to tell me the people that pierce YAHAWASHI is going to see him? How? They have to be back here in the flesh right now in order to see it. Man.
That's 2,000 years ago. It's so old ass view.
Right. Yeah. 2000.
Yeah, 2,000-year-old up in the Swiss Alps.
Right. Right.
Trying to go near to Ponce de Leon to the Fountain of Youth.
Eating juniper roots.
Right.
Juniper roots in the cave somewhere.
They're crazy as hell, man. They some young buckets. Right?
I got a precept.
Live and jovial, man, right now.
That's right.
Somebody get Hosea 3:5 too.
So bring out what
Oh,
you
okay.
have.
This is going into what the brother was speaking on. Really, what I was speaking on as well. Because these people have to come back as children at some point. You got to come back in the flesh. And you coming back in the flesh, those same ones that pierce you outside, they're gonna make it to adulthood. But the ones that was right along with him, the Lord can kill them in his youth. Man. So this is Proverbs chapter 20, verse 11. Even a child is known by his doings. One of those doings that the brother was going into about Cain, like. And his when he came back on the earth, he came back as the Edomites. Right? That spirit came back because of his actions, right? That he did as Cain. It says, even a child is known by his doing, whether his work be pure and whether it be right. That's how the Lord judges people, whether your works be pure and whether they be right, because we know that the Israelites are going to come back in their righteous light. The 1/3 of the elect is going to come back in their righteous light, because at the end of the day, you was trying to be pure through the best of your abilities. But everybody else was going to show that your works was wrong, man. And the Edomites showing that their works were wrong, man.
Because in Romans 9, it says, basically, when it talks about Jacob and Esau, it says, before they had done any good or evil.
Yeah.
You know, and that's that alone, okay, so if it was before they had done any good or evil, then why did the Most High preordain them? Why did the Most High preordain Esau to be the wicked and Jacob to be the righteous? You know?
Yes, it's what you call reincarnation.
Ephesians, the first chapter.
Because you had three classes of men even at the beginning, which were the sons of wicked, the sons of the Son of Man, and you had the sons of the power, the sons of the Most High. You know, the Lord always let the men of the Lord, really Israel, get their shot at righteousness, even in this life. Scripture says, this honor have all you saints. But the Most High knows everything. He's omnipotent, all knowing. He knows niggas ain't gonna attack, man. That's how he knows these same 2/3 niggas that was back then. All right, in Rome, being sellouts, living the Roman life, Greece. You want to say something?
Yeah, just like, I can't remember who made this point. When you read Matthew, the 27th chapter, what did the children of Israel say? Let his blood be on us and our children. That's reincarnation.
Yeah.
That's reincarnation.
Yeah.
What happened to the Israelites was that was partly, reincarnation, because the Lord had to actually pay back those children, those people and their children, for when they deliver YAHAWASHI to be crucified. Man. That's reincarnation. All right. So for you guys that's teaching your congregation that reincarnation is not biblical, and that Friday sundown, the Saturday sundown is the Sabbath, which we're gonna go into that in a minute too. But you're unlearned, you don't have the oil, and the Spirit of the Lord is not with you.
Yes.
The Spirit of the Lord is clearly working with the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and the brothers.
Right.
The rest of the brothers, man, and the sincere brothers in their respective camps. Because we the only ones that's going into the depths of this thing, man. You know, you got Zabak, he got his high rise now. And you know, you still teach that bullshit. For lack of better words, man. You know,
fried chicken doctrine.
Yeah, you just simple the simple doctrine. So you are nothing but wolves and raven wolves and sheep clothing.
Right.
That's all you are, because you leading the flock astray. You telling the people that the chip is not the mark of the beast. It's Christianity. It's philosophy. Yeah, it's about you say that too. You say that the chip is philosophy, man. You know, you got I don't know if you keep the new moon Sabbath for what, man. But a lot of you guys, man, you got a lot of judgment get ready to come your way, man. You know, before it's all said and done. And us brothers here at Great Millstone, we building the house of David, so we really got to show the rest of Israel really how it need to be done, man.
Yeah.
That's why we going into these topics, man.
Yeah.
That's why we do in-depth focuses on reincarnation, new moon, World War III, missiles. You got niggas out here saying that there's no more prophets, man.
Right.
If I can say something, make one point to what you had said too. The Lord said, the brother had said that the Lord is building the house of David, and that scripture, when you read that in Amos the 9th chapter, speaks about the tabernacle of David that was fallen, if I'm not mistaken. But in order to build the house of David, wouldn't you need David's men? Doesn't the scripture say later on in the after David's death that they're going to seek David their king?
Hosea 3.
Oh, you got that? Okay. Got to bring it up.
Yeah.
Hosea 3 and 5. It says, afterward shall the children of Israel return.
Can you jump to verse
Probably 3.
I got something after that.
Hosea 3 and 3 says, and I said unto her, thou shalt abide for me many days. Thou shalt not play the harlot, and thou shalt not be for another man. So will I also be for thee. For the children of Israel shall abide many days without a king, and without a prince, and without a sacrifice, and without an image, and without an ephod, and without teraphim. And afterwards shall the children of Israel return and seek the Lord their power, and David their king, and shall fear the Lord and his goodness in the latter day.
Now this is the book of Hosea, decades after David died. So how can they reestablish and seek David their king? Right, because it would be in the times now. It even tells you in the curses of Deuteronomy 28th chapter, even your king will go into slavery with you. Who's our main notified king that actually was the one to deliver? The two kings, of course, was David and YAHAWASHI. Those are the two top kings.
YAHAWASHI didn't go into slavery.
YAHAWASHI didn't go into slavery. So that boils down to King David.
Right. Why would they be looking for king? Why would Yahweh, YAHAWASHI, why would he specify Israel looking for King David?
Right.
Why would he specify looking for King David in the time of Hosea? Like your brother said, this is time after King David. Why would the Lord specify Israel looking for King David after he already had died in the past?
Right.
Why would he specify looking for? And this is just a question that you got to ponder upon, think about.
You guys got to
Say a lot.
thinkers, man. Apostle said that back in the day, man, you can be critical thinkers, man.
Yeah.
You got to use your noodle.
Yeah.
Read these scriptures and link it up, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little. Man. Look into the text. Look into what logically makes sense, and look at what extrapolate the best understanding possible. And you have to lead the reincarnation with these topics. Man.
Yeah, because that's how you actually get a deeper understanding of the scriptures. You know, just like when you go into history, you have to go into certain things. When you have a certain understanding of things, you actually have a insight of the scriptures. You're able to, like, through the apostles, you know, our apostles, they're able to link, you know, men today with who they were in the reincarnation. How do they do that? Because they understand, they have a spiritual insight on the, you know, spiritual discernment. Yeah, exactly. You know, but you have to have that understanding in order to understand these scriptures. A lot of you guys, you're just reading and it's not making sense to you. They're not reading.
Right.
You know?
Not reading.
Well, yeah, that's what it is. They're not reading. You know.
Add to the scripture.
Really, you all should just shut up and just listen to the apostle. That was a great message.
Right.
Just shut up.
Right.
His mouth must be stopped.
This is Job 19:25. It says, "For I know that my Redeemer liveth, and that he shall stand at the latter day upon the earth." Now this is Job, and Job basically had an understanding of prophecy, because he understood about the latter days there was going to be a Redeemer, okay, which is YAHAWASHI. Verse 26, "And though after my skin worms destroy this body," and you can't really get more flesh to, you can't really get more, you really can't get more simple and plain to the point than this. Right? I'm gonna read again, Job 19:26. "And though after my skin worms destroy this body, yet in my flesh shall I see the Heavenly Father."
Right, yeah.
That's a cut.
Bro, you got it, brother.
Nah, see, yeah, I'm gonna say, how's that possible, man? That's what those things reincarnation.
Right.
You know?
Right.
If you don't believe in reincarnation after reading that scripture, you got demons on you. You got demons on you.
Right.
You know?
Right.
You got demons on you.
Right. Now somebody must say, "Oh well, that's resurrection." Resurrection is the same thing.
Yeah.
You're re-erected, but you stand again.
Well,
Stand back again.
I say resurrection. You know, because we was talking about this.
Come.
Resurrection is basically when you put the same spirit back in the same body. Reincarnation is like regeneration. It's a cycle of life when you go back to the spirit world. That Lord puts your spirit in a new vessel, which is it's the same form
Technically,
Right.
but
yeah.
it's you know it's two different forms of it's similar.
Two different forms of the same thing.
It's like a
Right.
square.
Right.
It was a square, but square is not a rectangle.
Exactly.
Right.
So the brother's not absolutely wrong what he said. But we gotta say it like that.
Yeah.
Clarify.
Yeah, because Jake they like to reach us.
Mhm.
But really, what the brother saying, he's right. To be resurrected or be brought back to life is just in the same body. Your spirit actually leaves the body, and your spirit can put back in the flesh.
Well, it all goes in the category of the miracles of YAHAWASHI. You know, you all, man, somebody got Isaiah 55 and 8 real quick. Because Jake tried to plug in or put in a box the spirit, man. And YAHAWASHI can do YAHAWASHI can do whatever the hell they want to.
Right.
All right. Y'all all try to make it seem like no, he can't do this, he can't do that. What we establish what he will and won't do is according to what he told us he wouldn't and won't do.
That's right.
All right. Somebody got that?
Yeah.
But
This is Isaiah 55:8. For my thoughts are not your thoughts.
and the Most High's thoughts are surely not you niggas' thoughts, man. Because your thoughts are as low as the gum on the bottom of our shoes, man. There's no depth to it. There's no ration to it. There's no sense to it. There's no essence to it. It's just no spirit to it. All right. The scriptures speak about when the salt loses its savior, man.
That's right.
Y'all don't have it no more, man. You know, you're just a bunch of camps, and the Most High is gonna let you carry out your flow until you flow out.
That's right. That's the five
foolish and the five wise virgins.
Yeah.
Because a lot of you're just doing it because you're just stuck in the motion. You got a lot of Israelites, the Heavenly Father's spirit is not moving them. They just 5 years of doing this, 10 years of doing this. Shock you. He's 20 years of just doing this. But so what? He's a 20-year-old. He's that nigga that, a retarded man that's never left the house. Been living with his mom. He's 45 years old and he's still living in the house.
The stoop kid. Stoop kid afraid to leave the stoop.
That's a lot of y'all, man. Any more than that?
Let's start from the top.
Yep.
This is Isaiah 55:8. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord.
Yeah, the Most High don't got to be resurrected or reincarnated.
He is. But we being lower vibrations, lower spirits in him. We got it. That's our glory, our lot. So our thoughts and our ways are nowhere near the ways of Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI.
That's right.
I got to preach something.
God, then we're gonna get back next. Now I want to finish this precept. Go ahead.
I'm just going into what I was saying. This is Daniel chapter 12, verse 13.
Yeah.
But go thou thy way till the end be, for thou shalt rest, and that's the die, and shalt stand in thy lot at the end of days. And when you're going into that definition of lot, I get it. It's Quran. It says verse 2, it says lot, portion, thing assigned by casting lots, be recompense, retribution.
And that's going into what the brother was saying earlier when the Lord said, hey man, my eyes shall behold those that pierced him. That's that retribution. You coming back like this is that recompense. Like,
Yeah,
I'm expecting it.
Them guys that pierce Yahawashi, they probably cops today.
Yeah.
They on the military. You know, they probably hate Israel.
Yeah, modern day centurions.
They ain't working in KFC. Wait for Yahawashi to come back. We're gonna hard.
They probably some NATO troops.
Right. Black waters and some shit like that. You know,
Interpol or some shit.
Yeah, tell you in second the ones that didn't want to go against YAHAWASHI, but yet they're fight. That would be them, man. The individuals that's in the military, the Marine, the top individual. Because the individuals that had the opportunity to pierce the Lord, they was basically, close with the Caesar, so to speak.
And why is YAHAWASHI gonna come back and get? How you gonna get revenge on somebody that never done anything to you?
Exactly.
Right.
It's called revenge.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so YAHAWASHI about to come back and go to war in the heavens with a nation of people that's never been on the face of the earth.
Right.
Like everybody just knew. He's about to show down. That's just like you just being angry and livid at somebody you've never met before. You just like, I can't wait to beat your ass. But opposed to a person that you got history with, that you've been feuding with, you're gonna be vehemently like, man, when I see this, I'm gonna beat his ass because you got history with him. Well, that's why the Lord is actually putting certain spirits on the earth right now.
That's been here before.
That's already been here. That's why he's actually putting that spirit into a vessel to come into the earth now, so he can get the revenge, so they can actually see him in his power and his glory. The ones that did. So this is that's what you call revenge.
That's what the word
Vengeance and revenge is two different things. That's two different things. Recompense and compense is two things. Tribulation. What was it? Retribution and tribute. Tribute and retribution is two different things.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Seeing it as a righteous thing to recompense them that trouble you, man. Because all the same individuals that was troubling us back in the time of Rome, back in the time of Greece. And he's the one-trick pony. He comes with the same method, same policies, high taxations, liberalism,
witchcraft.
Witchcraft.
Yeah.
And it's always the men of the Lord, all right?
Murder.
Yep, murder. And the same houses that stood during the time of Greece, during the time of Rome, those are the same houses that are standing now. Man.
That's right.
But you said you guys want.
You want to finish? I go ahead, because I want somebody to hold Matthew 16, 18, and 19 in the blue letter, because I want to get a key word in there, man. And it's going to show you that reincarnation, and that the scholars know reincarnation is biblical. But you got it out.
Right. This is Job 19 and Job 19 and 25. For I know that my Redeemer liveth, and that he shall stand at the latter day upon the earth. And though after my skin worms destroy this body, yet in my flesh shall I see the Most High. Because the Heavenly Father, he's going to put, because Scripture says that your body dies, all right? Your body dies, okay? Your soul dies, but then he takes your spirit and he puts it back in in another flesh, because he went through the whole birth process, man. Okay, you know, but your spirit is your spirit is brought back, erected again in what, a new body. Okay, it says.
If I can say something too, that's why Scripture says there is no remembrance, and then it tells you in Peter, the Lord is going to stir you up the way of remembrance. So how can you remember something? The Scripture said there is no remembrance, because you're gaining back the memories that you lost in your past life. You're restoring your heritage from these scriptures, which is reincarnation. Man. The prophets is subject unto the prophets. If you're a man of the Lord is going to bring this word back up to you. That's why it says, and as a child thou hast known the Holy Scriptures. Because the Lord gave this to the sons of Israel in the beginning, man. The church of the firstborn, you know, that top house, so to speak, the tabernacles of David. You keep going.
It's Job 19:27, whom I shall see for myself.
Yeah, Job basically was declaring that he will see the Lord in the
He'll be reincarnated.
because he understood reincarnation. Now here it is, we living in the information age where you can actually look into words, look into the etymology of words, get biblical accounts of reincarnation, and a lot of you guys still, well, that's not in the Bible. Get a scripture to show it then, man. You know, the spirit of the Lord is getting fed up with a lot of you niggas, man. A lot of you niggas, man.
Blindness.
Nigga antics, nigga activity, man. You know, the spirit of the Lord it ain't hard, man. It's not hard to see that reincarnation is biblical. Y'all reaching because your program wasn't founded on that doctrine. So what you want to do is you want to remix the doctrine to benefit yourself and your program. And you know that reincarnation is biblical, man. A lot of you guys know it. But because the apostles teach it, we gotta teach something else. Man, the Most High gonna start fucking you niggas up, man.
Start killing.
Excuse my French, man. You know, but you know what, the hell with that, man. You know, because y'all out here polluting, y'all, man, all this disinformation out here, and you got Israelites throwing out more disinformation.
The most.
Yeah, the most. That's even more violent than the disinformation.
Because whether Jay-Z's in the Illuminati or not, who fucking cares? But these little intricate things dealing with our culture matters.
That's right.
All right. So when you come with this bullshit and you push this Friday to Saturday spirit, you pushing a Julian calendar spirit on the people, man. When you buck up against reincarnation, how the hell is the 2/3 gonna come back?
Right.
Stupid. Your ass better hope you get elected. Because according to your doctrine, you're fucked.
That's
right.
That's a great point.
That's a good point.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna keep reading. It says, and though after my skin worms destroy this body, yet in my flesh shall I see the Most High, whom I shall see for myself, and my eyes and mine eyes shall behold, and not another.
Yeah, so he's speaking about himself being in the flesh, witnessing YAHAWASHI.
That's right.
When you read the book of Job, that's not in the book of Job that he witnessed the Heavenly Father. Okay, so what was he speaking about here? Right. He knew that his spirit would be reincarnated into another body so that he could actually behold the majesty of the Lord, which the rest of the disciples and the apostles of the Bible subscribe to reincarnation.
They did.
You had times during Rome where the understanding was limited, where they didn't understand reincarnation. Like you had Nicodemus, he didn't understand reincarnation.
Well, it's the same thing today.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Jake knew what didn't.
Yeah,
spiritual men are going to receive the spirit.
The spiritual men knew reincarnation. They understood it. YAHAWASHI understood that he was Adam. Paul understood that YAHAWASHI was Adam. That's in 1 Corinthians 15. That whole chapter, 1 Corinthians 15, goes into reincarnation, man. You know, but you can go ahead and finish that. Then I want to get that Matthew 16. Then we're going to go ahead and move it around.
All right, it says, whom I shall see for myself, and mine eyes shall behold, and not another.
Yeah.
So not another soul, or not not another spirit, but it's going to be Job's spirit in a new body. It says, though my reins be consumed within me, but ye should say, why persecute we him, seeing the root of the matter is found in me? Be ye afraid of the sword, for wrath bringeth the punishments of the sword, that ye may know there is a judgment.
That's right.
So there's going to be a judgment for you and what you did in your past life, in the past generation of your life, in the past circle of life. Okay, you gotta go back to Lion King with Jake.
Yeah.
In the past circle of life, okay, your past life, you did something wrong or right, and then you're gonna come back again in your next circle going around, and the Lord's gonna judge you for it.
If I can say this,
Yeah.
our scriptures, even Job, right? Job 4:7 says, "Whoever perish being innocent."
Right.
Like the times when I mentioned, you got scriptures in the spirit. The times when I mentioned earlier, you got a 5-year-old kid get his damn top blew off. Why don't let that happen, man? You know
what did he do? He can't
obviously,
even really talk.
right? He can't even, he don't know what the hell's going on. You know, obviously it was something he did in his past life, man.
Yeah.
But the Lord brought judgment on him.
That's right. Hey, bring that precept for him real quick.
Come on.
You know that
With Job 4:7, it says, "Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off?"
Yeah, that's right. You know, yeah, whoever perished being innocent, man. Like you said, Trayvon Martin, all these Jakes is getting gunned down by the police. They ain't getting gunned down just because they just on earth just doing whatever. Nah, they getting judged for what they did in their past life, man. Or something what they doing currently, man. You know, but speaking about like young, like infants,
Aborted
babies,
I got over stuff.
still
retarded people.
still
Well, guys, then okay, so what did that retarded person do to deserve 3 things? What did he do?
That tooth in the middle is fine.
Right.
Oh, cerebral palsy.
He got a leg growing out of his chest. And shit. He didn't do nothing. This is his first time getting a shot at him.
A new baby.
They catch a stray bullet.
And that's what's that? I think that's Mark with the his Mark 9
That's
blind
what
man.
I got.
You got
Yes.
that?
Oh, yeah. Martin
Yeah,
John
man.
9.
John 9. Yeah.
Yep.
You know, when it came to the blind man, you know, if he sent it, well, he was reading.
Yeah, it's John 9:1. And as YAHAWASHI passed by, he saw a man which was blind from his birth. And his disciples asked him, saying, "Master, who did sin, this man?"
So they already, that tell you right there, disciples had understanding on reincarnation.
Yep.
They knew.
Yeah, because it tells you in the law that every man has to actually, basically bear his own judgment.
Right.
The father has to bear the judgment of his house, and the son has to bear the judgment of his. And really, you're not really under the fullness of the law till a certain age, man. Now, of course, you do have children that at a certain age they're disobedient to get put to death.
Right.
But for the most part, really just falling up under the heaviness of the law, you really become a man at the age of 12 years old.
That's right.
You know? But it says, he saw a man which was blind from his birth, and his disciples asked him, saying, "Master, who did sin, this man or his parents, that he was born blind?"
Yep.
YAHAWASHI answered, "Neither have this man sinned, nor his parents, but that the work of the Most High should be manifest in him. I must work the work of him that sent me while it is day. The night cometh when no man can work. As long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world." When he had thus spoken, he spat on the ground and made clay of the spittle, and he anointed the eyes of the blind man with the clay.
Oh, the clay we talked about earlier.
Yep.
He was going to the earth.
That's the spirit.
How Gad had to know how remedies.
Yeah, you see,
YAHAWASHI knew that too, man.
Yep.
You know?
And said unto him, "Go, wash in the pool of Siloam, which is by interpretation sent." He went his way, therefore, and washed and came seeing. Right. So if that goes for the man that was born blind, that goes for the woman that was on her menstrual cycle all her life. You know, because that question can actually veer into all kind of individuals that was cursed since birth. Now, of course, going back to the point of the scriptures, showing that the disciples and the men of the Lord had a clear understanding that reincarnation was a focal point in the truth, man. In culture, in biblical culture, so to speak. Yeah. All right, and just like it tells you that Maccabees, when the sons were being put to death, they basically cursed in the book of Maccabees. They cursed the Edomites and told them basically in the reincarnation, we gonna get back on you, man. We're gonna get revenge. Yep. You know.
So this has always been something that our people have understood. Even Tupac understood.
Yep.
You know, he said he feared it, but he understood that it was a possibility that could be true. And it's not really that far-fetched. It's not a far-fetched thing. It actually makes sense. It coincides with life. Without reincarnation, you don't have understanding of life. You don't. So you have to explain why Jake is being done the way he's being done. What is Jake? Why is these Jakes being killed and maimed for what their fathers did? As a matter of fact, somebody get Deuteronomy 24:16.
Yeah.
Okay, hold that real quick. Get Deuteronomy 24:16.
Yeah, and I would say, the whole fact that we're under curses. Why we under curses?
Yeah. It's reincarnation.
Right, reincarnation ain't real.
It's not justified. It's not
justified because we have it. Because here it is, the Israelites, coming out of ancient Egypt, were given the law through Moses, and they sinned. Remember, the Heavenly Father, he got back those wicked Israelites that came out of Egypt. He killed their first generation, and he kept Caleb and he kept Joshua.
Yep.
But then after that, we still sin. Okay? So why now, 2,000 plus years later, why are we suffering the curses? And we were never given the law.
Yep.
Because we're them same spirits that were given the law back then.
That's right. Deuteronomy 24:16, and then somebody get Matthew 27 and 25. I'm gonna get them two scriptures. I'm gonna pass it on.
I got you.
Go ahead.
All right, this is Deuteronomy chapter 24, verse 16. The father shall not be put to death for the children, neither shall the children be put to death for the fathers.
Right.
Every man should be put to death for his own sin.
All right, so these little kids that's getting gunned down in the ghettos, that at the age of 2 or 3 years old catching stray bullets, what have they done? But just try to eat, shit, and sleep and play. What have they done worthy enough to receive that particular type of judgment? When the scriptures clearly say the fathers shall not be put to death for the sins of the son, the sons put to death for the sins of the fathers.
Right.
Understand? So you can't say that, we cursed as a nation, so no, man, all of us went off. Each and every last individual of Israel went off. The only person that did it the right way is YAHAWASHI. And when YAHAWASHI did it the right way, he's yet to be back to earth.
Right.
YAHAWASHI ain't been, that spirit of YAHAWASHI ain't been on earth for over 2,000 years, man.
Right.
And that's because why? Because it's filthy down here, man. He already accomplished it. He already defeated it. So I say all that to say that all of these young Jakes that's being killed in the womb, that's coming out, only be alive for like 3 minutes and die, come out the womb dead. What have they done? The stillborns. Because you got to remember, these are the same spirits that did wickedness in their past life. Get that Matthew 27 and start at 24 and all the way to 25.
All right, this is Matthew chapter 27, verse 24. When Pilate saw that he could prevail nothing, that rather a tumult was made, he took water and washed his hands before the multitude, saying, I am innocent of the blood of this just person. See you to it.
Go ahead.
Verse 25. And answered all the people and said, his blood be on us and on our children.
Right. And that right there confirms Deuteronomy the 28th chapter, man. All right. So they said let his blood be on us and on our children. All right. So these children that's catching all this hell, they had time enough to accumulate sin, the transgression against YAHAWASHI. So they paying for it when they come back in the regeneration.
Right.
That's how they pay for it. It's simple. It's not hard to grasp the breakdowns of reincarnation. The scriptures tell you that in Acts the 7th chapter, verse 51. You so do stiffly resist the Holy Spirit.
Uncircumcised heart.
That's why you can't get reincarnation, man.
That's right.
The scriptures say this to make it plain upon the tables. When you watch brothers' videos of Great Millstone, they're really plain, simple videos, man. Right. Easy to be understood, man.
Jake just make it complicated.
Yep. Jake want to be that stupid nigga, man. That's what it is. Jake want to be that stupid ass nigga in the class where everybody get it, but you the only one that's not trying to get it on purpose because you want to raise your goddamn head.
Well, I don't get it.
But understand.
Yeah, big retarded cap nigga, man. You know?
Yeah.
And Jake wonder why they don't graduate. They wonder why when everybody's flourishing in the class, why they dumbass is damn near 20 years old in fucking 8th grade, man. That's Jake. Jake is retarded in the short.
Parking next to the teachers and shit.
Right. Yeah, pulling up in school. She got a full goddamn beard.
Looking like us.
Hey, but you know what? I say this: there's a lot of Jakes. They purposely don't try to understand it, man. Because they want to use something to be a clown, man. To stand out. Because when you agree on when you agree with pretty much everybody, you don't stand out.
Right.
You don't stand out. Yeah. But when you disagree and you make a big fuss and you're like, well, I don't understand. Everybody, you got 29 students understand, but your 30th ass don't get it. That's why the Most High go start wiping out a lot of Israelites, especially Israelite churches, man. There's no excuses for Israel not to be on the level, man.
That's right.
Great Millstone is grinding everything up through the Spirit. And there's no reason for no Israelite church or Israelite camp not to be on the level. With this immense amount of understanding being pushed out from brothers' pages individually. You got some brothers, man, some brothers be doing like 3 or 4 videos a day. Like 18, 19, 20 videos a week, man. Not to mention camp live streams, you know, not to mention praying and fasting, charity, covering so much information to feed the sheep, and you still got simple niggas out here that make it mandatory to go to Jerusalem, man. Yeah. But then you want Jake to experience Jerusalem, but you can't even break down reincarnation to it.
Jerusalem is right in front of you. That's why the scriptures speak about hey, that's reincarnation. New Jerusalem coming down from heaven.
That's reincarnation.
Jerusalem comes back in.
Right.
But the men of old Jerusalem, the ones that act the tabernacle today. And it starts with spirit. That's why the Lord said, know ye not that the kingdom of heaven is within you? Yep. What's within you? Your spirit. The pure soul that the Most High gave certain men to actually hold this word in the high regard. Those are the ones that's going to build New Jerusalem. And just like it says, being joint heirs unto YAHAWASHI, which in the scriptures refer to predestination. All right? Predestination is heavily written in the scriptures. And if you guys believe in predestination, you got to believe in reincarnation.
Right.
It go hand in hand.
Go ahead. This is Proverbs chapter 8, verse 9. They are all plain to him that understand it, and right to them that find knowledge.
That's clear. And to be honest, you know, we pretty much cover reincarnation, man. But there's so many scriptures that deal with reincarnation. We could go into Matthew 16, where he said, when you shall see me in the regeneration. But think about
we'll go into the YAHAWASHI asked him, who do they say I am?
You got which we gonna get that, but the Lord told YAHAWASHI told Peter that he's gonna build his church. He's gonna build the church upon using him. On the rock, I will build my church. But if that's the case, then he has to be king. And the blue letter supports that. The blue letter supports that Peter was King David. The blue letter tells you that when you look into the into the word keys
of heaven.
Yeah, the keys of heaven. It tells you that was King David. It says Peter was the second David. In the blue letter, we'll get it. You know, but that goes to show that even scholars, even the elite, that's how you know, man. That's why the Lord gonna just wipe you little niggas out, because you don't even understand what the elite Edomites understand, man. Even the elite Edomites understand more than you goddamn niggas, man. Right.
That's why these low-level Christians, when they come up to him, EJ Love came to the city, confronted all you Israelites outside us.
Oh yeah,
he went to HOI, and he made y'all look bad. He made y'all look stupid. He went to Sakari, stupid. All right, ISUK, stupid. And if he could have ran into the rest of y'all, he would have made all of y'all look stupid, man. Y'all are nobodies in the spirit.
Y'all ain't got the keys. Hey, hashtag Great Millstone has the keys.
That's right.
That's right.
Hey, get that
Yeah,
Matthew. Oh, somebody has
That's all I can
something.
say.
Oh, yeah,
Back
go
on that precept in Proverbs 8 and 9, like when you look in Genesis 25 and 27, it said Jacob was a plain man. When you go into that word plain, it means perfect. So when he said, hey, it's made plain unto those of understanding, it's perfect. Like everything throughout these scriptures, our understanding is perfect, man. Why? Because of the spirit.
Right.
These people don't have the spirit.
Pure things are pure.
Yeah. That was it. That's all.
I got something out there.
All right, get that.
I got it.
Somebody get that. You got Matthew 16 in the blue letter. Yeah, get 16, 18, and 19. Just read it all the way through.
All right, Con. This is Matthew 16 and 18. And I say also unto thee that thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it.
Right.
And I will give unto thee the keys of the kingdom of heaven.
Right. So, but that was also told to King David. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that means Peter has to be King David in the reincarnation. Now go into the blue letter. Click on the word keys. Click on the word keys.
And if not, then that means the Lord is playing a toss-up between King David
And
Peter.
and Peter.
Yeah.
Like, you can't give two men the keys.
He told both of them.
He told both of them. And how you gonna tell somebody after they passed? He didn't even really tell David, because really in the aftermath of it, it was written of days David receiving the keys, so to speak. It was already set up in the spirit, but David passed, man.
Yeah.
But his legacy had to be fulfilled when he gets replanted in his life, man.
And that's why these guys say that the Bible contradicts itself. You know, a lot of people, these people that don't understand the scriptures, they say that, oh yeah, you know, it contradicts itself. Well, you have to understand reincarnation, because everything flows together when you understand it.
yeah,
It comes
You know?
perfect, man.
Because really, niggas don't contradict themselves, man.
yes.
Yeah, that's what it is.
You niggas
A
read the
walking
scripture.
contradiction.
Yeah, you walk in contradiction. You read the scriptures with a preconceived bias notion, and you really can't adjust with the scriptures because you really don't have the spirit, man.
Right.
All right, the spirit of the Lord's not dealing with you.
I'm gonna bring out this quick point, then bring that. This is the word keys in the Greek is klais. Klais. It says a key. Since the keeper of the keys has the power to open and shut. All right, so I'm gonna go down to the Greek lexicon.
Keys to the house of David.
Yep, that's right. Now listen to this. It says Matthew 16 and 19. It says the power of David, who is a type of Messiah, the second David. Ooh. That's for Peter. You can't get around it. It says of receiving into the Messiah's kingdom and of excluding from it. So even the scholars even know that Peter had to be King David. But you got niggas out here that saying that reincarnation ain't biblical. How? Get a scripture. Only scripture they bring out is appointed unto man once to die. Of course, it's appointed unto man once to die.
That's that one body that we read about. That one flesh.
Yeah, right.
That one soul, that one flesh. But your spirit, hey, you gotta say like Esau says it, energy does not be destroyed. Spirit is an energy. So once that flesh is gone, the spirit, like scripture says, Ecclesiastes 12:7, it goes back to the Heavenly Father that made it, and he puts it in a new body.
See, that's how we know when we go into these scriptures, we really teach plantation niggas, man. Niggas still got that plantation mindset. You can't understand the reincarnation. Really, you guys only really lean towards John 3:16, man, like other Christians. The woman do. Yeah, Deuteronomy 28, the woman worships the scriptures, you know, but you don't really go into the more depth scholarly scriptures where it takes. What you want to say, bro? You want to say?
The only thing Jake want to say is, sister, you want to hear something cool? They don't want to go into the depths of the water, man, because they can't swim. Yeah, that's why you can't swim. So you playing around on the seashore with floats, nigga. You know. But go ahead, Al, you got it.
Yeah, this is Romans 11 and 9. And it says that David said, let their table be made a snare and a trap and a stumbling block and a recompense unto them. Let their eyes be darkened that they may not see and bow down their backs away. So this is a prayer that King David put up back then. That's still affecting you niggas to this day, man. That's why you can, like your brother's going into. We can't even. We gotta argue with. It's when you deal with another brother or allegedly a brother. I don't even like using that term. All right, because just because you know you're a Hebrew don't make you a brother. Right. You know, but you supposed to be on a level, man. We shouldn't even be. We should be past black. Like we got Hebrews that are calling themselves black Hebrews.
Right. Like past that.
Like this is how retarded and how big. Really deep. Some of these Christian churches know the scriptures better than you know.
Hey, can I add to your point? Now, the scripture you read, it mentioned recompense. The question is, who's being paid back? Some new guys that came on the scene, or old wicked guys, or old wicked guys that's coming back again. All right, Johnny come lately. A new spirit in the earth is being recompensed for something he had no idea.
Hey, think about this. That's like if let's say somebody slapped me in the face, and then I'll be like, I slapped somebody else and be like, yeah, I got my payback. Right. No, you didn't. That dude you slapped, he didn't even have nothing to do with that shit.
That's why Esau and Camp, they always say, well, I didn't do it. You know, they always like to say, well, I didn't do it. You know that? Yep. And that's how do you cut an Edomite that basically tried to say that?
Reincarnation. You gotta hit him with reincarnation. The only thing you can justify saying, yes, you did do it, because you come back in the reincarnation.
Yeah, same thing with Deuteronomy 28. When Moses was talking to the Israelites, and they told them about the curses, those Israelites died, man. Those Israelites didn't have to suffer all those curses. So why did the generations later on have to suffer? Because they came back in reincarnation. It tells you that in Lamentations, the 5th chapter. Matter of fact, if I could bring that out real fast.
I got some real quick while you find
link the chain. Go ahead.
All right, this is 1 Corinthians 2:10. But the Most High hath revealed them unto us by his Spirit. For the Spirit searcheth all things, the deep things of the Most High. For what man knoweth the things of a man, save the Spirit of man which is in him? Even so the things of the Most High knoweth no man, but the Spirit of the Most High. Verse 12. Now we have received not the spirit of the world, but the Spirit which is of the Most High.
And the Spirit is given to you.
Yep.
You know, it's, like it says, faith is a gift. Spirit is a gift. All these different things are given to you on high.
All right. That we might know the things that are freely given to us of the Most High. I'm going to just read it through. Which things also we speak, not in the words which man's wisdom teach. Because a lot of these guys, they teach against reincarnation, which that's man's wisdom. But it says, but which the Holy Spirit teaches, comparing spiritual things with spiritual.
That's right.
This is the point.
Right. But the reincarnation is a spiritual topic, and you have to compare and contrast reincarnation with the scriptures, and there is no contradiction. And there is no cons that come with reincarnation in the scriptures. It's all pros and all the cons with the puzzle. But this truth is a jigsaw puzzle, man. It's known as really like a spider web, man.
Yep.
A lot of men get caught up in it trying to basically piece it together. And they end up losing their goddamn mind.
Yeah. That's the point. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of the Most High, for they are foolishness unto them.
So they don't really understand the importance of reincarnation. They don't care to understand the importance of reincarnation. The only thing that they want to know is the apostles of Great Millstone teach it, and we ain't teaching.
Right.
That's it.
They teach for contention.
They don't want to know why it's necessary to teach reincarnation. They don't want to know the breakdown on reincarnation. And they just want to. The only thing that they hell bent on is Great Millstone teaching it, and we ain't teaching. That's it. So therefore, you're limiting your whole doctrine.
Right.
When you understand reincarnation, you open yourself up to a whole other level of understanding, man.
Yeah.
You have to. We ain't even brought out Zechariah the 3rd chapter about Joshua the high priest that Satan stood beside him. Well, with that was an instance of it had to be reincarnation.
Right.
Zerubbabel.
Zerubbabel.
That's a prophecy too.
You understand? Hey, but you know that we ain't got to go into the depths because really they already cut. We already cut them.
Yes.
You know, but you had some more.
This is a little bit more. Neither can he know them because they are not spiritually discerned.
That's right. You have to have the spirit of YAHAWASHI in order to be able to flip through this book and be able to discern what the word is saying, man. Only the spirit is the one that guides us, man. And that's why we do what we do. That's why we do. You don't see HOI sit downs.
Right.
You don't see that. You don't see the Zabak doing sit downs with his people. IUIC doing sit down lessons with their people.
Right.
You don't see that in abundance with HODC. All you see is HODC sliding up Jerusalem streets, man.
Mm-hmm.
With Kufis, what's
Yeah, Kufis with
Yamas.
Fucking eating dinner with Jews and shit. I wouldn't be surprised you niggas would
Sipping on that.
Bugging out. But what do we do? We link up once, twice a week, do lessons, 3 or 4, 5 lessons, a week, 7 lessons, 10 lessons. We go to camp. We deal with topics. We deal with scoffers. We don't just overshout people. We tell them that you got a question. We deal with questions.
get dialogue.
We dialogue. We get the scriptures. We break it out.
Going to the Greek, going to the Hebrew.
Because we got the oil.
Yeah.
We got the oil. You guys gotta teach like that with microphones, and you gotta shout over people because you can't go deep.
Yeah,
You got little floats on your arms, nigga.
Yeah, floaties.
Yeah, you got floaties on. So when scoffers come up and they start bringing out some stuff that go out into them deep waters, only thing you can do is be like, man, I can't swim, nigga.
The Lord is blind.
Yeah, that's why the scriptures tell you to defend the gospel, man. When you defend somebody's on the offense. So therefore, you must give these people a chance to speak their piece, man. And then what? You go on the defensive. Okay, I hear you. And then you do your thing. And then what? I'm now gonna go on my offensive.
Yeah.
But you made no ground with us. But these guys don't allow people to get their offense in. They're just about pushing their offense, man. Pushing their offense.
Tough look. Israelites are unfair, man. A lot of these people, you talk to some of these people, you try to reason with some of these people, and they're just unfair, man. They don't let you get your point across. They don't want to hear. They're not trying to hear out what you're saying because, like brother said, they got a preconceived notion. There's no reasoning with them because they already got it figured out. They already established in their mind that there's no reincarnation. In the Bible.
And they don't like you got the guy from HODC, the Benjamite guy. He come down to the camp with the apostles, and then the apostles asked him about the Gentile situation. Now we're transitioning over to it. What's the hold up, man?
Hey, look,
What's the hold up?
Cornelius,
You transition. Like it's a process. Like you got them transitioning from one country to the next, man. Nah, man, that shit. You should know it. Looking to the scriptures. If it's factual, you teach that. If it's not factual, you don't teach. What you mean transition?
But you know why JK don't do it? Because when they transition over to that breakdown, they're gonna have to say, well, the apostles been teaching this. Mm-hmm. But they don't want to do that. So then they have to say, well, we're gonna make that transition over.
Yeah.
Because if they fully incorporate that in their doctrine, they're going to have to say, well, the apostles at Great Millstone, they've been teaching this. Mm-hmm. But they don't want to do that because it's pride, man. It's pride. So guess what they're doing on the low? They sneaking it in. Yep. They're trying to sneak it into their doctrine.
Yeah, like Shaka watching the live stream.
Right. And the spirit can play them to speak. And another thing too, another reason why they're transitioning is because they don't study. They do be taking trips and going to Israel and putting on yoke and dancing for these so-called Jews. Meanwhile, the word of the Lord and the understanding of these living waters are rushing faster and faster.
And it's evaporating.
It's flowing, man. And you can't catch up. The current is speeding up as we're getting more into these turbulent waters. And you on a goddamn floaty spinning around in the current,
Well, they're heading towards the waterfall.
You know, so, right? The sunglasses and the goddamn, you know, martini glass, thinking everything's all cool. Meanwhile, that waterfall is right ahead.
Right there.
They knowing all the signs.
Yep. Hey, I got a quick reincarnation scripture.
Come.
This is Matthew 17:10. It says, and the disciples asked him, saying, Why then say the scribes that Elias must come first? And YAHAWASHI answered and said unto them, Elias truly shall come first and restore all things. Verse 12. But I say unto you that Elias, which that's Elijah, for all of you niggas that want to get simple, that don't say Elijah, it say Elias. That's Elijah. All right. Verse 12 it says, But I say unto you that Elias is come already, and they knew him not.
Yeah, because the prophet tells you that Malachi that Elijah will come for the day of the Most High. You know, you have individuals that try to hopscotch and work around that point too. And they'll say, well, Elijah didn't die. He was taken to the heavens, so that's not really classified as reincarnation. Man, it's from one. It's the vessel actually departing out of that man and him coming back down years later. Man, that's reincarnation right there. He came back in the flesh. That's right. You know, his flesh decomposed. He was in the heavens for a time appointed, and the Most High sent his spirit back on earth. Because the Lord did that with one man.
He can't do it with nobody else.
He's not going to do it with nobody else. Elijah just got this one pass. What about everybody else? What about all the other souls? That's not fair.
Like Tazai said earlier, it's called the cycle of life. Yeah. The circle of life. A circle repeats itself. When you look into the number 8, the number 8 is symbolic of infinity.
Yeah. New life.
Why? Because it recreates.
Yeah. That's why you had 8 people in the flood.
It's renewed.
It's a renewal. So it's the same thing in the spirit. It's not hard. But let me just finish this. It says, this verse 12 says, But have done unto him whatsoever they listed. Likewise shall also the Son of Man suffer of them. Then the disciples understood that he spake unto them of John the Baptist. So that's a cut.
That's a spirit cut.
You cannot say that reincarnation is not biblical.
Clear.
It's clearly just said that Elijah was John the Baptist. Right. I got in the reincarnation flesh. All right, and that's spiritual. Yep. That's spiritual, man. So if that's the case, if Elijah was John the Baptist, if he came back, then that means King David came back. That means Jehu came back. That means Solomon came back. That means Nebuchadnezzar came back. That means Charlotte Murr came back. That means Eve came back. Everybody comes back, man.
Everybody came back.
Everybody comes back into the earth, man. Every spirit comes back into the earth through another vessel, without the former remembrance.
And that's the very meaning of reincarnation, back in the flesh. You know,
back again.
Let's bars break this out. We're gonna go ahead and get these precepts, then we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. All right, so Matthew 11 and Verily I say unto you, among them that are born of women, there have not risen a greater than John the Baptist. Notwithstanding, he that is least in the kingdom of heaven is greater than he. And from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force. For all the prophets and the law prophesied until John. And if you will receive it, this is Elias, which was for to come. He that have ears to hear, let him hear. You got to have the spiritual ears. You got to be anointed in the spirit in order to receive that Elijah was John the Baptist in the reincarnation. And then even further than that, John the Baptist came back as our biblicist. Okay? That's prophecy. It's prophecy, man. Reincarnation and prophecy links up hand in hand. A lot of prophecies deal with reincarnation. Yep. That confirms the spirit of prophecy, reincarnation. You got it out.
Like I say, you said that at the whole Solomon being YAHAWASHI. You know, when Nathan broke that prophecy down to David, Reincarnation was included in that. He told him that someone's gonna be beaten with stripes. Solomon was never beaten.
Right.
That prophecy had to carry over to his following. We come back to YAHAWASHI, man.
Right. So who was that talking about?
Right. Who was that talking about?
Chicken George.
That's why I say in
Right.
Hebrews, saying Hebrews how he died for the sin of himself. But YAHAWASHI never sinned. So how can you die for your own sins? Because he died for his sins in the past life. It always they equated him as Adam. How Adam was the first death. YAHAWASHI was the second, which represented the spirit. So you had it.
Yeah, I had a precept. This is St. Matthew's chapter 19, verse 28. And matter of fact, I'm gonna read up 27 and go down to the point at 28. Then answered Peter and said unto him, Behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore? So he was asking YAHAWASHI a question, man. Like, we've been doing all of this for you, or whatever. We stopped everything, or whatever. Like, we dropped everything that we was doing to serve you and to follow in the spirit. So what shall we receive of it? And this was YAHAWASHI's answer. And YAHAWASHI said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man, which is YAHAWASHI, shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye shall also sit upon the 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. And the brother's going to go into the definition of reincarnation.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, to be reincarnated is to go come back in the spirit. And it's all of those apostles, those disciples, they died, man. They died. So they was like, what shall we receive? And the Lord said, matter of fact, I'm gonna just read verbatim. And YAHAWASHI said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit on his throne. Have YAHAWASHI sat on his throne yet? No. He hasn't gotten the glory, man. We're still going through the curses, man. He ain't came back and got that glory yet. He hasn't judged the earth. We're not sitting upon we're not set on high. Nobody. So YAHAWASHI hasn't came back and got his vengeance. So going to that word regeneration now, if you could,
it says new birth, reproduction, renewal, recreation, regeneration.
So that's not going into it further within the Greek. But the point of it is when you come back in the flesh, man.
Yes,
it's a renewal of the spirit.
Hey, my bad to cut you off, but what have we done to deserve this truth? Shit, you got. I mean, if you want to look at it like that, what have we done? What kind of effort have we shown to the Lord to deserve to be in this ministry? You got some people, they dedicate their life to Christianity. They play drums. They try to read, study. They dedicated to the church. You would think that, hey, the Lord will probably pull them out, right? Because they blindly dedicating themselves to something. But you got some brothers, man. We wasn't into that shit. So why did the Lord see? I know I wasn't into no church shit, man.
Yeah,
you know. But why did the Lord see it fit for us to come and join and be joined into this ministry? And to push this word in truth and sincerity, it's because of what we did in our past life that made us worthy to come back into this thing, man.
Yeah, right.
Because if that's the case, then you have some people that's in these churches that they sincerely believe they in the truth, man. And they give hella effort. More. And you got I'll be real with you. You got some people that's into churches, Christian churches, that give more effort than Israelites.
Yeah.
You know, most. So why didn't the Lord bring them up out of that and open them up through their dedication? Because it wasn't meant for them. It's only given to those men the first fruits from the beginning.
They already had it.
The Lord is honoring generational works.
Oh, right.
Generational covenant.
It's generational covenants. It's generational mercy, man. That's what the Lord is honoring, man. Because I tell you, man, you know, you got some brothers, man, came from some hellified backgrounds. They ain't show no type of love, effort towards the Lord before the truth. But as soon as they heard the truth, they did what? Dropped everything. That's what YAHAWASHI was dealing with. He's dealing with the spirit of honoring generational obedience, man. Generational obedience, man. That's what the Lord is dealing with, man. You know?
That was it on that.
Okay, now this is, you know, just to continue the point, Malachi 3:16. Then they that feared the Lord spake often one to another, and the Lord hearkened and heard it, and a book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared the Lord and that thought upon his name, and they shall be mine, and they shall be mine.
Tell you that.
Future tense, said the Lord of hosts, in that day when I make up my jewels, and I will spare them as a man spared his own son that serveth him. Real quick, verse 18. Then shall ye return and discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serveth the Most High and him that serveth him not. So the ones to get this understanding of the prophecies of this book, those that are going to remember, put everything back together, these are the ones that are going to return that already had it, that already feared the Lord. The ones that's going to be his jewels, his first fruits, the elect. Okay, because they're going to be reincarnated again because they were that were before with the understanding, and it's going to give the understanding back to them. Okay,
That's right. That's right, bro.
that was the main point.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'll hit you with this. If you repent, that's showing that you believe in reincarnation.
Your penitence.
Yeah, because in order to repent, you asking the Lord to forgive you for things that you did in your past life.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Yeah.
So you gotta believe in reincarnation really to repent.
Yeah.
Because if you don't believe in reincarnation, like the brother Abba said earlier, you ain't got fear in you. So then you ain't even gonna be worried about what you did in your past life because you don't believe that you even lived before.
Yeah, David said, remove from the secret of faults.
Yep.
You know?
Blood guiltness.
Yeah, because that's the things that he did in this life, things that he ignorantly sinned of, and things in his previous life.
That's right.
You know? Men of Lord was always about covering multiple areas, man. This life and the life to come. You know, covering the lives prior to. You know, constantly giving prayers, and the Most High would clean their slate, so to speak. That's why we're debtors unto YAHAWASHI. Because what we did in this life and what we did in the last life, we don't know what we did in the last life. You know?
So we gotta believe in reincarnation in order to repent for our past life.
That's right.
If you don't believe that you have a past life, then you can't repent for it. That's what repentance is. To turn. Actually, you got turn and you got return. It's two different things.
Return.
When you return, this is actually a do-over, bro.
Yep.
You get a do-over.
Second chance.
You get a second chance. A lot of you guys, if you don't believe in reincarnation, then you believe that this is your first time ever breathing in this flesh. That's what you believe. So you don't believe that you lived before. You don't believe that you sinned before. You don't believe that you don't believe in no past life of yours. You see what I'm saying? So then, therefore, you should be worthy of salvation. Then.
You don't believe in
You
deja
shouldn't
vu.
have to repent, right? You know. But that's we get a couple more precepts and go ahead and wrap it up.
Well, because we did say that we was going to touch on the new moon, but to segue into it, right? Because one of the first scriptures that one of the brothers brought out was Psalms 104 and 30. It says, "Thou sendest forth thy spirit; they are created, and thou renewest the face of the earth." Now, when you go into that word renewest, it's the word chadash, okay, which means to renew, or repair, okay, or to rebuild. Now, when you go into the scripture that's dealing with the new moon, okay, this is 1 Samuel 20:5. It says, "And David said unto Jonathan, Behold, tomorrow is the new moon. And I should not fail to sit with the king at meat, but let me go that I may hide myself in the field until the third day at even," which denotes that the new moon would be the first day. Okay. Now we go into the word new moon. The word there is kadash. All right. And the root of that word is kadash, which means the same thing we read about renewing the face of the earth, about being reincarnated. Because the moon in the spirit is not a new moon every time you see the new moon.
Right.
It's not a brand new recreated moon. All right. It's the same word, kadash, to renew, to repair, to renew oneself.
That's why the scripture said the Lord will give us a new name. That's not about a whole another name. We're being renewed. As we get renewed, everything is new to us.
Yeah.
Even the name. Scripture says that in the land of our captivities, we shall remember ourselves.
And there's remember again. Okay. And when you see the words, the letters R-E, read, that means again.
That's back, yeah.
That means to back again. Okay. So the moon comes back around. It's the cycle of the light of the moon. It goes through a cycle every month. And we call that a new moon. So when a spirit comes back in the body, all right, every 3 or 4 lifetimes, all right, it's renewed. That's a new soul, a new living soul.
Yeah.
But it's the same spirit. It's the same concept.
It's a simple.
This is a lesson. This live stream is really like a lesson of concepts. If you can understand what I just brought out and deal with the new moon, the same concept. The Lord deals with the same concept, and not just bringing back the flesh or bringing back, even the lights in the heaven, but is also dealing with seasons as well.
I was just thinking that. Yep.
Because we just came out of the Passover about 3 or 4 months ago. Okay. All right. That was a renewing, a new springing forth of spring. It's not a new spring. Right. It's not a new like brother brought out. It's not a new tree. Okay. The tree died in the wintertime. All right. Yep. But then it budded forth again.
Withered away.
It withered away, and it was renewed again with new green leaves in the spring. The life sprung forth again.
Right. Yeah, it's the same season from last year.
Yeah, same season.
You got spring, but it's the same season from last year. It's not a new season.
Yeah.
It's not and when you think in a spiritual sense, it's not a brand new spirit. It's the same spirit that got regenerated. Right. And like the brother said, it's very simple. It's just concepts. It's a very simple concept to understand and to link it with the scriptures. But these guys, they're trying to make their doctrine fit. They're reaching. Yeah, they're trying to make their doctrine fit their emotions.
Right.
You get a few more.
We'll get a few more. We're gonna wrap it up. It's getting kind of late. Let's try to just go ahead and get the scriptures. Let the scriptures speak. Go ahead and bring it out.
Be too long.
Well, I'm gonna get this real quick going on Brother Desire. It says, I'm gonna start at 5 instead of 4. This is Amos chapter 8, verse 5. Going into the new moon and the Sabbath, how it all ties together. It says, saying, when will the new moon be gone that we may sell corn? These is wicked niggas, man. Just like you people of these other camps, man, outside of GMS. And the Sabbath, that we may set forth wheat, making the ephod small and the shekels great, and falsifying the balances by the sea.
Well, yeah, because the Israelites had an understanding of, the new moon was a Sabbath, and and the new moon dictates the weekly Sabbath as well. It's not a new Sabbath; it's the same Sabbath. Everyone from day 1 to day 7, that's the Sabbath. Day 1, 2, 3, 4, 7.
It proves a deeper understanding that even these wicked niggas back in the ancient world was on the high level than you niggas now, man.
You didn't have the Gregorian calendar. You didn't have the Julian calendar. You didn't have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That concept is a satanic concept. That's why so many misnomers, so to speak, in the months. But you have to have leap years. You have to have all these different days to rearrange in the calendar, because it's a false balance calendar, so to speak.
Hey, you better believe if these demons, they added days to the calendar, then they added months to the calendar, and they added years. So you think you're in goddamn 2018? How do you know?
Right.
Morpheus said that on Matrix. He said, really, it's year 20. Given a rough number, 2100, but it's really 2025. Something like that.
Yeah, man, it's nuts. But got one?
Yeah. This is Genesis chapter 1, verse 14. And power said, let there be lights in the firmament of heaven to divide the day and the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years.
Yeah, that's just plain to the point. You read Genesis 1 and 14, and after that you don't understand the new moon, the moon declares days, then you got demons on you. We've done plenty of breakdowns on the new moon. We've done plenty of breakdowns on the Sabbath. We've done plenty of breakdowns declaring that the moon and the sun declare times and seasons. If you don't understand just that off Genesis 1 and 14, you got demons on you, and the Most High gonna kill you if you don't get it. That's right. That's just the truth, man. And me and I can't think of me and Abu speaking. Who says too late in the game? Just really to just be stressing a lot of old breakdowns.
Yeah. Last stuff. Period. Like Hebrew is like 101, man.
We get ready to go to a whole nother level. Then to continue to go back to the
color scriptures.
Yeah, the color scriptures.
The Jews ain't black.
Exactly. So it's like, man, look, the new moon constitutes the first day of the month. 7 days after the new moon is the Sabbath. Right. According to the Holy Bible, you got Sirach, the 43rd chapter. You got Numbers, the 10th chapter. You got Isaiah, the 66th chapter. All right, and there's plenty of scriptures that back up that notion that the Sabbaths, the days, the months, the years is declared by the moon and the sun, man. Right. Okay, if you don't understand that, you got demons on you. Right. You learn it from a false charlatan, false preacher. And if you don't get up out of it, you could be killed, man. That's right. Go ahead, we wrap it up on that.
2 verses. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3, verse 10. But the ungodly shall be punished according to their own imaginations, which have neglected the righteous and forsaken the Lord.
Yeah, see, you neglect these breakdowns. Right. You neglect the effort that the brothers put in for this truth, for this ministry sake. You ignore the output that you see a brother doing, but you only pay attention to controversy. Yep. You only pay attention to that one little thing that a brother said that you can try to use against him, but you negate all of the other 15 to 16 videos that he's done. But you hear that one little sentence in one of those videos, and you zone in on that. You neglect the righteous. That's why the Most High gonna jack you up. No excuses, man. We living in a time really of no excuses whatsoever. All right, go ahead.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3, verse 11. For whoso despiseth wisdom and nurture, he is miserable, and their hope is vain. Their labor is unfruitful.
That's all of you other camps. You're miserable in your spirit. You get on camera and act like you're happy. You're not. You know it. Okay. you're miserable. You are lame in your life. You are L. You square. Depressed. All right. You lost. You didn't accomplish your dreams. You know, you didn't accomplish your dreams. You ain't getting women. You losing your substance. All right. We know it. Sure. That's why Good Samaritans is non-fucking existent.
All right. Where are they?
Where are they at? Where your output at?
They in that well with that with the Samaritan.
They in the well. They in the well with the Samaritan.
It's done. Yeah, because we know. In order to be in this truth and still maintain your spirit, you gotta maintain a level of, you gotta maintain a particular doctrine. Because if you come in this truth and you teach anything else, you're gonna be miserable. Because the truth is the only thing that sustains your spirit. If you teaching anything else outside the truth, you just as miserable as a nigga in the hood, man. Even if you do cut on the camera and push this word and you seem like, yeah, I'm lit. You ain't lit. When you cut that camera off, you just another miserable nigga, man. Because you ain't got the truth. The truth ain't making you free. Because you don't have it. So it's really you putting your own spirit back into captivity, man. Up under the philosophies of Satan. You know? So we read that part again, Babakushai, you die.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3, verse 11. For whoso despiseth wisdom and nurture, he is miserable, and their hope is vain.
Yeah. You just a miserable lame that try to appear like y'all got it going on.
Yeah.
We know behind the scenes, man, when that camera ain't on, you fucked up. Your spirit is done. You seeing all kind of demons. The Lord is declaring to you that you're a demon, and you trying to fight against the Lord declaring your demonism. You trying to fight against it by coming up against the apostles and elders. That's your way of trying to go against the Lord showing you that you're a demon. Because as the Lord is showing us signs that we moving in the right spirit, the Lord is showing you signs that you demons.
That's right.
You better believe it, and you're seeing it. Mm-hmm. So it's making you miserable, man. It's making you miserable, and you don't know what to do with yourself. Mm-hmm. That's why you're gonna start slowing up.
Yep.
YAHAWAH, you slowing up. Used to do videos. Yeah. Used to do sit downs. Used to do breakdowns. Where you at, man?
Everything is a controversy. Well, this is what he said, she said.
Right. Everything now is you ain't nothing but Wendy Williams. Yeah. Go ahead.
Their labors unfruitful and their works unprofitable.
That's right. Y'all ain't getting no fruit. Ain't nobody taking you serious. Your breakdowns is ugly, tacky as hell. All right.
Shoddy work. You gotta fix your shoddy work.
Shoddy work.
You finished, man. You're unprofitable. You resemble the fig tree that withered away. You are the cursed fig tree, man.
Yep.
Go ahead, That was it. All right, so with that, we're gonna close out giving our praises to
YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, YAHAWAH.
Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace, safety to the elect. Hopefully that this live stream was edifying. Brothers, through the spirit, we get together. We just want to edify the elect. So hopefully we did so. And we pray that the sincere men and women stay with this thing. Keep pushing. Don't waver. Keep going hard. The Lord will show some serious power through his elect. And just give diligence to make your call nevertheless sure. And to hell with these off-brand Israelites that can't get with it. All right, so until the next time, all of us, we want to say shalom.
Shalom.